H-Town. Not on yet. H-Town. What's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. Broadcasting on the Power 101.5 FM in Houston, Texas. But guess what? It's another way you can watch us or listen to us. You can go to Facebook Live, type in ChopShopHTX, ChopShopHTX, and you can listen to and see us live in studio right now. But great day. But you know what? I want to start this day off before I go any further. It's not sports related, but it's related to us. But it is sports related because on June the 17th, 2015, Jimmy, a man walked into South Carolina church and killed 9 people on the 17th, 4 years ago. Stephen Curry and his media company would tell the story of the victims and the survivors in theaters for the first time. So go visit EmmanuelMovie.com to find out the thief for the theater near you. Stephen Curry, he's producing this show about, if you remember Dylan Roof, walked into the church, befriended the people in the church at a Bible study, and killed all 9 people. So, shout out to Stephen Curry for telling this story. But now we can get to sports. Jimmy, what is going on in the NBA? Jimmy, I got a headline for you. The Rockets in turmoil. They use the word turmoil.
I mean,
man, you know what, Jimmy?
Every day that goes by,
okay,
with the Houston Rockets, and this is remember, on the Chop Shop, we always encourage you guys to pay attention, right? That means can't nobody just say anything. There's always, not always, but most of the time when people are doing press conferences, you can pick up on code words all the time. Your president gonna give you a whole ton of them this evening in his re-election quest. But with the Houston Rockets, how about this? Remember now.
Can I read the headline? There's too much DAM in turmoil.
Yeah.
And unsettling vibes surrounding these Rockets. I think it's a good thing, though. But keep going, Jimmy.
No.
I think it's a good thing.
Let me tell you something. It's a good thing. People look at, and what happens is, everybody that has drama in the NBA in the current state, they'll look over to the Golden State Warriors and try to compare the turmoil with the Golden State Warriors. Then they'll look over at the Cleveland Cavaliers of yesteryear and try to compare with the LeBron James, Kyrie Irving turmoil. And I said about Golden State, I mentioned the Kevin Durant, Draymond Green this past season. Here's where the trap is in place. If you haven't won a championship with your current team in place, then guess what? It is non-applicable for the turmoil getting over it.
So you got to be, so you saying is you got to be a championship team to be a turmoil? To cause turmoil?
No, to try to brush it to the side and you're
supposed to brush it to the side.
Well, guess what? If you haven't won that title, then those wounds are just simply covered by...
Jimmy, the most teams that have the problems are the teams that don't win the championship.
Guess what? And then what ends up happening? What ends up happening? What's the end result? Somebody leaves. Somebody's gone.
Well, somebody already gone. 3 coaches has been fired.
It rolls downhill.
Yeah, 3 coaches have been fired.
Understand now, this coaching staff with the Rockets, this team with the Rockets, for the most part was in place for the core and the starters before the ownership changed hands.
Right.
Well, there's different levels of squabbling going on. You have up top. See, that's the thing. It's hard for them up top to be able to curb the problems between the two superstars, James Harden and Chris Paul, because they're squabbling up top between the new owner, Tillman Fertitta, and the current head coach, Mike D'Antoni, and his agent.
Jimmy,
and his agent.
Jimmy, ain't no squabbling with the owner.
Well, I'm a verbal squabble. They have some verbal innuendos. Now I've got a couple of codes.
Yeah, you know.
And even yesterday, Alan, Tillman Fertitta even confessed that he made a mistake by bringing his thoughts so promptly into the media, getting the media involved. He said that. He made a mistake.
Okay.
Bringing his thoughts. Because he retaliated quickly in the media. And he said that.
What particular instance, though?
Remember when the offer was first made public about the contract talks?
Okay.
And somebody had to leak that, right? And remember I said it on the Chop Shop. Whenever stuff like that leaks, it comes from one side or the other. So obviously the side from Mike D'Antoni and or his agent leaked to the press about the deals, the intimate details of the proposal.
Talking about I think it was incentive laden deal.
Oh, it was a Ricky Williams type deal.
No, yeah, you know what they wanted to do. D'Antoni, you win all these games, but you don't win no. We got to put some incentives to get past certain steps in the playoffs, because y'all are regular season kings. You know, if he did a great job in his defense. I don't know whoever gonna take the credit. They did a good job of patching that team together this year with all those injuries early in the year. So I think they did a great job. They just didn't close out. They're a couple of quarters away from, they're just not closing out. So I don't think they're far off. But I am glad that I like Jimmy. When people get to squabbling, that mean they care. When I'm quiet and don't say nothing to you better watch out for me. If I get the girl, if I get on you, then you know I like
you. Shifting gears. It's two different squabbles. We on the coach and administrative squabble right now.
Yeah, but I'm worried about you can talk about.
No, because this one here, because if the owner's not in a clear,
the owner's always right, Jimmy.
Yeah, but understand, the owner
he gonna sign the check on the front.
Yeah, but this isn't your normal. Obviously, he's showing signs. He means Tillman Fertitta is showing signs that he is not going to be that normal type of owner. He's going to be more so the Jerry Jones, Mark Cuban type of visible, vocal owner. And you could tell, if he's front center, you said it yourself, you're in the playoffs. Wasn't he front center? What were you doing on midcourt? What did he do during the playoffs? You saw him. You was there.
Jimmy, he's different from the...
he's already showing it.
It's a new guard of owners out there.
So just imagine if this team won a title. What did man do? You think Drake flew his jet around the city? This owner right here, understand, guys, he owns casinos.
Yes, sir.
He got his bread through the underbelly of all underbellies in the core of the fact.
That's legal.
No, but
that's underbelly.
No. Casinos are legal in many states,
yeah.
but they are illegal in more states than they are in the United States of America.
That's not nice. Because I like casinos.
Well, because of the things that help personify casinos back in the old days. Remember, Galveston, Texas was a core. It was our version of Las Vegas back in the after the World War II.
He had a lot to do with that out there. He big in Galveston.
Well, he big in
Galveston, Texas. He big.
Kemah and Galveston.
Galveston too.
Because his restaurants built up, help develop the boardwalk, and that's right before you get to Galveston, guys. The peninsula, leaving Houston, it's only about 20-something minutes, 25 minutes away from the court, from the inner.
He is from Galveston, by the way.
He's from Galveston.
Yeah, Kim Corbett.
There you go. And so
she said, don't get it twisted.
What part?
He is from Galveston. Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. He big in Galveston.
Well, we know the Kemah boardwalk.
No, but I'm talking about. I know you talking about Kemah. That ain't Galveston. I remember him doing some. He got stuff in Galveston too now. Yeah, he bad in Galveston.
So he
the king of the parade. You know when they had the parade out there for Mardi Gras? Yeah, he be running all that.
I've been there a couple times.
I ain't never been there. Yeah. Because that's you like to drink. But keep going.
Grandpa. You just sip.
His grandpappy ran the gambling on the island. That's what he said.
So that was grandpappy. And guys, remember, understand something. And you can go and it's what?
Google it.
There you go. And you can go and check it out. is that back in the old days, the old fighter Joe Johnson, right?
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
Trim thing basketball.
That's right.
Jack Johnson, the champion. That was like his spot. That was his spread. That's what a heavyweight champ.
You know why? Well, the white women with it. Jack Johnson.
That's where he can mess with him and not get his head beat in.
Yeah.
That's one of the few spots that it was down with it as long as he was winning. You know how that stuff go. Lennox Butt had lost one of them early fights and watch what happened to him. But that's the thing you look back and you connect the dots with. Now back to Tillman Fertitta. I'll read you some of this stuff about him and the coaching situation that just transpired. A great spread in ESPN that was penned by Tim McMillan.
Yeah.
And on Sunday.
McMahon.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I said McMillan. McMahon.
Yeah, McMahon. Yeah.
And so he says, check this out. Just watch how snappy. And I'm just reading. I don't know the text of which the conversation was said. I'm just reading the words, and sometimes we can pull words off the paper in a different text than what they are.
Well, tell me what you think he was saying. Go on.
They're talking about the agent. Now, the agent of Mike D'Antonio name is Warren Laguerre.
You know what? Let me help you who that is.
Who that?
That's the one who got the Summer League. That's the one who started the Summer League. He's over the Summer League. Warren Laguerre. That's that Warren Laguerre.
The one in Vegas?
In Vegas. In Vegas. He's over the whole.
Because it's all consolidated now.
Yes, he partnered with the NBA. He used to just do it by himself. Now he partnered with the NBA. That's the same agent that runs that thing out there in Vegas this summer when we go. That's his money.
About the talks, they asked Tillman Fertitta about the negotiations. And I'll give real quick as we go into the break.
Okay.
He says, check this out. I think his agent did me a favor. Okay? Understand?
What is that?
I mean, just stop right there and let that soak in.
Okay.
This
I
man
think
just
so the owner saying the agent did him a favor. So guess what? That means it's in the favor of the owner and not the agent. I can't wait to get back. Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute. Boy, that girl, Dodo, let me get her a hug. There is a hooky church over there. What we got out there, y'all? Where my people at, man? Where my people at?
Thanks so much, Kim, for the plug, baby.
Thank you, Kim.
We got our built-in.
No, that was a shameless plug. Now she from Galveston. Come on, Jimmy. That wasn't she wasn't plugging. She was trying to. No, she wasn't. She was trying to straighten you out. She said, "Don't get it twisted." She said, "Don't get it twisted." I heard her. Man, write your things down. Oh, I just don't worry about it.
Man, I been did that.
Oh, you did? I did. What's up, everybody? Who else we got? Let me do a little housekeeping right
Todd
here.
Biley, where you been hiding at? Anthony Weston. Shaquille O'Neal is over the ship, over the Carnival Cruise Line now. He the CFO.
He been there. Did you see his Papa John's he got in Atlanta?
Nice.
Which I tell you the sweet deal he got down there when he signed on to be their spokesman. They gave him some sweet deal in Atlanta.
Everybody that signed Shaq give him some food incentives in his clauses, per diems in his thing. So Shaq, that's why
Shaq make more money now than he made when he was a player, y'all. He one of those rare few. He one of those rare. What's up, Jeff Day? What's up, baby? Got Dallas in the building. Let me look at my stuff down here. What's up, Derek Johnson? Who else we got? Anthony Weston. What's up, baby? Who else? Tamika. Man, Tamika back.
Tamika.
Where you been hiding? You know where she been hiding.
Tamika, that boo must
have that boo. No, that boo ain't. He let her.
That boo must have went and go and get him a loaf of bread. You never went and got a loaf of bread on you. That's what happened. Now you come on back though. We got you. We gonna take you back in.
Who else I see? Let me see. I saw somebody else. Marquessa Carter, what's going on? Carla Hartnett, what's up? Carla, I went to the Pocket when I was in Memphis. Jimmy, they got a spot, Jimmy. Did you ever see the what is the Kingsman?
Yeah.
You know how he go like you going inside of or the tailor shop, but it's really something else. That's what this little spot is down there. You right. Jamaica says she worked for a living.
Welcome back to the Chop Shop. 28 minutes past the hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. Man, the Chop Shop is not your normal type of sports talk show. Want to let you guys and remind you that. Make sure, speaking of remind a lot of your friends and family about the Chop Shop. There's no urban sports talk show on the FM radio dial of this magnitude in the United States of America. And it's unique because when people hear about it and they listen to it or watch it for the first time, and it's like, wow, this is kind of different. And understand something. There's no pre-production meeting. There's no teleprompter. There's nobody with a chalkboard or no engineer or
we need one though.
That person that's in our ear, in the earpiece, letting us know different stuff. We rely primarily on you guys, right? And that are watching and help us out. Just as last segment, we were talking about one of the topics and about Galveston. That's what Kim Corsier spit it out. And enlighten us. And during the break, we went in with Google and fact check, and we good.
Yeah, Kim's awesome.
And that's one of the things that makes the Chop Shop great. And we love you guys for that. Now, meanwhile, we're talking about the Rockets. We're spread on. Move on past the owner and the coach. I mean, we spent.
You done with the owner? You gave us something. You talking about the owner and the agent? You ain't gonna get us off of that.
Oh, well, okay, well.
Yeah.
Here's it go.
He told him, man, that he helped me.
Now,
I ain't gonna let you get off that.
Basically, in a nutshell, it was a $5 million base salary. Right? Okay. And they offered him. They were going to offer $1 million for each round that he was going to advance past the first round of the playoffs.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
First round getting to the first round is a gimme, but advancing out of the first round. Okay. $1 million every time you win a playoff. Okay. And that was kind of like the basis of the deal. So now, in the deal, the agent, see, once Fertitta came, once the initial leak came out, then Fertitta countered. Then the agents, and I'll say the agent because it's on his side of the fence, and they countered with another leak. And in that leak, they said Fertitta failed to mention the buyout language, right? That guaranteed D'Antoni, how about this? Half of his base salary if the Rockets fired him before the extension began. Break that down for me. Okay. Break that down.
So what that's saying, Jimmy, look what he did. Look what he did, Jimmy. He already got a deal right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this year. Mm-hmm. So I think they got wind. I think they know that when somebody fired 3 of your coaches that been on your staff, that means you on a short lease. So what he wanted, so they kind of know they're going to get fired. So the buyout language is very important. Because they know, and guess what he said? Fertitta didn't want, during the buyout, Fertitta said, let's say Fertitta fired half the season. So he get that money for the whole season, but he get none of that extension money. That's all they're saying.
And the base is going to be $5 million. So if he gets fired, he's going to get 2.5.
2.5.
Approximately.
No. He's going to get all that money because that's his salary. No. You're talking about the extension.
The extension.
But he ain't going to get to the extension because he going to be under the base. You remember he got a year right now.
What and that's exactly.
So the extension was coming the year after.
But if they redo the extension, then they're probably going to kick in and must be going to be superseded.
I ain't looked at the deal. All I'm saying, he got to play this contract out. Then an extension means I'm not a lame duck. I don't have 1 year left. I'm extending after this year.
But can it supersede and they convert it to start now and modify it? You're like,
then that's the case. Just tear up the whole deal.
Well, that's basically what they would be doing.
But then it's not extension then.
Because
remember he said extension.
Because this is what the word looks. I read it again.
You can't extend nothing if not nothing.
Because understand this. I'm
Okay.
going to read it again.
Okay.
That's why it has to. Here's the deal. Fertitta failed to mention the buyout language that guaranteed D'Antoni only half of his base salary if the Rockets fired him before the extension began. So that means it was going to supersede.
So they know we're gonna get fired. He know, and people been telling me.
Yeah.
You know, he's out of there.
So that means there you go.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying. So he don't even want to pay him that other money. Tim said, I want all my money back.
And so check this out. So after the agent leaked that part, right? Then it forced Fertitta to come back
and count it. What did he say?
And he helped
me out.
5 days later.
Okay.
He boarded his private jet along with Daryl Morey and flew to West Virginia. That's where D'Antoni's.
I'm down with that.
That's his vacation home is in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Right? So he flew there.
West Virginia. That's worse than Charlotte.
Not Virginia, but West Virginia.
That's worse than Charlottesville. But keep on going.
That's the coal miners up there.
Keep on going.
Now check this out. So they returned to Houston. Check this out. Believing they had a handshake
deal. I remember that.
You see? See, so handshake deals are prevalent and common on that statute.
On that level, yeah.
So that's what he had.
Okay.
So here's Fertitta. I quote him now. I feel very good about it. I've always felt very good. I'm disappointed that it got talked about in the press, and I'm disappointed I responded in the press.
Yeah, I should.
So then he goes after last week.
Okay.
So as an olive branch. Basically, I'm gonna cipher that for you, Alan, because I know you. I'm gonna cipher it for you. Okay. That means Fertitta knew that wording was in the contract, in the thing, and he didn't know the dude was find that wording and bring it and leak it.
He knew he was gonna find it.
Well, he knew he was gonna leak it to the public.
Yes.
So that's why he said sorry, got to the press.
Right.
So then he said, as an olive branch, Fertitta offered $2 million in incentives. Right? Instead of $1 million in incentives.
Oh, so $2 million every time you win.
So that means now.
But I'm still gonna fight it because I ain't gonna have to pay you that no way.
Bingo. You see, that's why I'm thinking.
Wait a minute. Where was the part that Fertitta said he did him a favor? That's the part I got to go read.
He did him a favor about the whole leaking, how he leaked out that last part about the agreement. He did him a favor because gave him a chance now.
He had to ease it out if the Rockets had see this about this. You didn't read this part, Jimmy. He said, I think the agent did a favor at the media availability. He said, explaining that how now he had an easy out if the Rockets had a disappointing year and they decide to move on D'Antoni. That's the ticket. Right? Wait a minute. Bingo.
So now he's gonna play real poker with this situation.
Dude, he don't want it, man. I don't know why they just don't. Something wrong, Jimmy. I don't know why they just don't want it. He got a staff already, I think, in mind, man.
And what you think?
Jimmy, because billionaires play chess, they don't play checkers. So they move, they got 2 or 3 moves ahead. So guess what? The man got an idea who he wanted to be the coach.
Well, I mean, obviously so. Now, here's the deal. So now we go downstairs. Okay. And we know we touched on this yesterday on the Chop Shop.
You just want to mess with my boy, man. Come on.
Well, I mean, now it gives you dots to connect.
Come on, man.
And it gives you, and a lot of times, we watching press conferences. Many of us are watching the TV during the postseason, but the volume is down, and the room may be noisy. And it happens. And so therefore we're not able to grasp or check, or we're not paying attention to the body language or certain things. How about this? This is after the James Harden, Chris Paul tensions. So now people are able to go back to certain times, especially media personnel. They can go and think about it because they're in the room and you can feel certain things if you're in the room. If you're in the building, you could feel things that you can't feel through the TV screen. You could, like tension. You could see certain things, that the way that they interact walking into the room together. How about this? I'm gonna take you to a chronological order of sequence of things that happened during the season. Okay, back when the playoffs first began, the first round of the playoffs, right? This is the first round.
Okay.
And that was against what, Utah? Yeah, against the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
Okay. So it started like most Houston, press conference after the game. Harden got all of the action while Chris Paul was sitting on the side of him.
Oh, and Paul got up and walked off.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, yeah.
I saw it.
So, but we didn't realize that it started way before the Golden State.
You said right. It wasn't. They was asking James all the questions.
No, but it was. That's what I'm saying. It didn't.
You talking about getting all the action? In other words, because some people might not know what you're saying. They were asked. Everybody kept directing their questions to James. So he gets up and walk off.
Yep.
Keep on going. I just happened to see that.
So here's the deal.
Bingo.
Watch this. We're really gonna see it in a minute. Okay. Harden got all the action while Paul served as an increasingly frustrated bystander.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 questions of the presser.
Okay.
This is the post-game press conference, which all players are mandated by the NBA to go and attend after a 15-minute cooling off period.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, the coaches would go in first.
Yeah.
Then the players afterwards.
But the coach don't have to change in and on the players.
Visiting team, then home team.
Mm-hmm.
That way, the visitors can get the hell up out of there if they wish to do so.
Right.
So the first 3 questions were directed to Harden, who had in that particular game had 29 points, 10 assists in a blowout win, despite the Utah Jazz altering their defensive scheme to deal with his off-dribble brilliance. Okay, so now we go. As Paul answered the questions, as Harden answered the questions, Chris Paul fidgeted with his beard.
I'm telling you.
Right? And looked down.
With his beard or Paul's beard?
With
James' beard or Chris' beard?
Chris Paul had a little
Okay, listen. Did he touch him?
Right? So now check it out.
Okay.
Around the 5th question, right? Paul to James Harden, 5 questions in a row. Nothing to Chris Paul. Harden looked over at the Rockets PR chief and then at his teammate.
Yeah, like.
And said, I'm out of here. And got up, put his hand on Harden's left shoulder, and walked on off the stage.
And just how Harden looked like.
Harden said,
I'm serious. I just saw it this morning. He like.
And so now what I do is.
But that ain't James, folks.
No. Watch this now. I'll be going to the break and I'll read you guys the rest of this during the break. Come over to Facebook, type in ChopShopHTX, and join the Chop Shop during the commercial break. Meanwhile, if you stay right here on 101.5 FM, you can jam. Get ready to snap your fingers. Let the windows down. Turn the speakers up. Let's jam this thing.
Come on, man.
Chop Shop, right back.
Man, Chris, man, come on, Jimmy. What else you got?
Yeah, check this out. So this is one instance, right? So he left, right? So the friction between the two manifested again during the Rockets playoff finale against the Warriors in that game 6, right? So check this out. Paul and Harden had tense exchanges regarding Harden's ball dominance and Paul's desire to run set plays as the Warriors pulled off a comeback during the 4th quarter of the game 6 elimination loss. So, mind you, in other words, James Harden wanted to do his thing, and Chris Paul wanted to do his thing.
Chris Paul has been known for that same thing he accusing. I know a lot of players didn't want to play with Chris Paul because of that same thing he accusing James.
And they're going to mention this right now.
Going
to mention this shortly. Okay. Meanwhile, check this out. So, after the game, Chris Paul made sure he didn't share the microphone with James Harden after the loss.
That's why he was.
So what he did, he got dressed faster. Just ironically, he just got dressed on this night way faster than his normal routine, right?
Yeah.
And he took his turn alone at the podium before the visiting head coach, not his head coach. He went before Steve Kerr. Understand this? Know what that means? That means he don't have no chance to cross James Harden coming back into the lock. He's gone. He went before Steve Kerr went. That means that pushed down the order of those.
And you wonder why James got on the plane and went to Miami. And y'all messing with it. Now you see, keep going. I see why he got on that plane. Keep going.
For all we know, James might already be on the plane. For all we know. So check this out. This stuff, it gets better than that, right? So So, I mean, where I'm at right now.
Bo said it sounded like a soap opera. It gets fun, Bo.
No. See, the gloves are off now. Normally, this type of stuff is what they say is protected by the code. But then once one person leaks something, or they suspect that you leaked something, then somebody on their team is going to leak something. And it might not even be the players. It could be their brothers. It could be their sisters. It could be the girlfriend. I'm telling you, that's how it goes now. So check this out. Harden took his turn to the podium, and guess what Harden said when he got to the podium? Remember this? Quote,
what?
I know exactly what we need to do this summer. We'll figure it out. Remember when people didn't know what the hell Harden was talking about at the time? And now he's talking, what do you think?
Well, you just said he was gone. See, yeah, you talking about he was gone.
No.
Man, you just love to hate on James. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Adler, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook and on the radio in Houston. We got Marcus Moody in Memphis, Tennessee. Give him a shout out. Former Jimmy, you remember when the Memphis player Jeremiah Martin went on this little tear? He scored 41 points in a game. That's who record he broke. Marcus Moody record when he outscored Marcus Moody. So shout out to you, dude. I gave you a plug today. So back to since you want to get back to these Rockets. Come on, let's get back to these Rockets.
You know what? Forget Young and the Restless. Go to the hospital. All my children. Forget all that.
This has the world's turn right here.
As the Rockets turn. The Houston Rockets. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. Man. Hey, we got a lot of stuff to get into, but this is just too good to leave on the counter. Well, you know how to get something. Listen.
What?
You know how you ever go get that Kool-Aid out the refrigerator, and you get down toward the end, that good great Kool-Aid, you put half a bag of sugar in there, and you down toward the bottom. Especially you people that got 3, 4 sisters and brothers that you grew up with, like Howard had 11 of them. You get down to the bottom of the pitcher. You're going to drink it all the way. You probably say, you know what, I ain't going to even leave this here. Because I come back, it's gone anyway.
Yes, sir.
I might well go on and overfill my cup and get the big cup and fill it in. That's what's going on.
Now just get me some more and put it in there. Drink that up and put some more in there. Yeah.
You can't leave the corner though in the refrigerator.
No, I'm going to take the corner. I'm going to turn the corner up. I'm going to drink the corner too.
Okay, what are you doing with the pitcher?
Go throw it in there so somebody can wash it. I didn't have to wash this.
So the last person that drank the Kool-Aid is supposed to make the new batch of Kool-Aid.
No, I put it in so my sisters can clean up. I didn't have to wash them dishes. I emptied the garbage can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had 5 sisters, dude. They had to do something.
Oh, I feel.
Okay.
Wrong with that.
Yeah.
Get in that get that anime. We're talking about the Chris Paul, James Harden, and in the ESPN they have an article which kind of gives you dots to connect on possibly how long the tension has been bubbling between the 2 stars of the Houston Rockets. And this thing, I mean, it's
man, Chris Paul. This article's not too favorable to Chris Paul right now.
Well, what it does, it wasn't. I don't know because I don't know the author. Sometimes you know the author, you can connect the dots and see what side of the fence he's on. But I don't know the author, so I don't know if it's coming from one side or another. But I do know one thing: in order for any author to get his material or his intel, he has to talk to somebody. And in that case, in mainstream media, you're obligated by an oath that you take as a journalist to interview at least one person from both sides of the fence. Now, in this situation, it gives us another situation. Say, Chris, this is coming from a source that he doesn't name, which that's common. Says Chris Paul wants to coach James Harden.
I swear I read that.
James looks at him, at Chris Paul, in the eyes such as, you can't even beat your man. Just shut up and watch me. And that's kind of like the feeling from one angle. And then Paul, according to other sources, Chris Paul was also frustrated by what he perceived as Harden's tendency to ignore unglamorous details that impact winning, such as moving when he gives up the ball to help spacing. And sometimes,
that's one of James' faults.
And sometimes he'll stay there instead of going. You're supposed to pass and screen away or pass and go. And it needs spacing in that type of offense. Now, and he wasn't shy about expressing those concerns. He meaning Chris Paul. Chris Paul, in other words, guys, Chris Paul is more vocal, more animated. James Paul is more non-confrontational. James Harden is more non-confrontational.
Right.
Initially. Now, what happens is, as anybody, you keep
Chris Paul always talking.
Yeah, he's always that's the leader and the point guard. I guess tendency and one of his traits inside of him, but it's also to a fault. And because people also say that's one of the reasons why Chris Paul has never been able to get to the promised land of basketball, and that is because his mouth will take him clean out off the plank at times.
And Jimmy, and let me help you out a little bit. Let's remember, so some people might not know. Chris Paul used to be with the Charlotte Hornets. You know, that didn't work. He went to the Clippers. Him and Blake and DeAndre Jordan and Doc couldn't get along. Doc, the easiest person in the world to get along with. Then he come here, and then he get. So guess what, y'all? The common denominator in all of this, come on, it's Chris Paul. But keep on going. Give me some more, Jimmy. Give me some more. I just want to let
check this out. Okay. So it reached a point, right? It reached a point that, this according to team sources, where Chris Paul cherishes the chance to play without Harden on the floor.
Yeah. And told D'Antoni, leave him down there a little bit. Leave him out there. Leave me out there. Kobe, let me tell you something. Kobe and Shaq, y'all, let me help you out now. Kobe and Shaq used to hold your foot there. I'm going to give some people some reference here. Kobe and Shaq used to have the same view. So guess what, what's his name? Phil Jackson used to do. He'd come over and say, look here. He'd bring big fella out the game. He said, look here, Shaq. Soon as you go back in, I check you in. I'm checking Kobe out. All the balls going toward you. Everything I'm gonna feed you, and then that's how he smoothed it over like that. D'Antoni don't have a game like that kind of cachet like Phil Jackson would have. But Phil Jackson, that's how he used to soothe them down. Then when Kobe, when you go back in the game, you shoot all the balls you want to. So that's how he. That's how he made it happen. Evidently, D'Antoni got to brush up on his manage. That's called managing, coach. That ain't coaching. That's managing. What else
understand? It doesn't. It just goes on and on.
Well, keep going.
Things that happen.
We want to hear.
We're not talking about one game. This happened over a span of a few games. Now, mind you, while all this, we just take the recent. We're not having determined when it started or what made it start. Only each one of those guys know that. That's Chris Paul, James Harden. However, and understand this. In Harden, once again, went and asked D'Antoni, according to the sources, not sources on the team, to leave James Harden on the bench. Right, while they will be grooving, the team is on a run and they're grooving with the second unit. It was like, okay, let him, coach, we got it, let him stay, because in his mind that would be a way of getting Harden the needed rest. Instead of playing a 40-minute game, leave him on the bench. We got it, coach. We're grooving. And Harden would catch on the minute that he caught on to that. Harden would simultaneously go to coach, say, "Coach, put me in." So which master is the coach gonna serve? And this is how petty it got, according to the sources on the team.
But see, most of the time, though, Jimmy, in Harden's defense, most of the time when he go out the game, they're not cooking. Most of the time he go out the game, they don't be doing nothing. Well,
I'm glad you brought it up, because I'm gonna show you something.
When I go to the game,
I'm gonna show you something. I'm glad you brought it up. You're right on cue. The Rockets had the best record, right, in the NBA after the All-Star break. Do you guys realize that? The Houston Rockets, after the All-Star break in the regular season, they had the best record in the NBA.
Jimmy, they needed to, because before that they was one of the worst teams in the NBA. So they needed that.
Yeah, but it was a 4-game gap between
Jimmy. They was in 14th place. Remember, you kept how did they in 14th place?
But it was a 4-game gap.
Yeah, but 14th place don't sound.
With 40 games to go, 30-some games to go.
Come on.
So check this out. Check this out. Despite the differences between the James Harden and Chris Paul, right? The Rockets statistically were better during the regular season with Paul on the court than without Harden.
Say it again.
They were better in the regular season The Houston Rockets were statistically better with Chris Paul on the floor than without Chris Paul on the floor without James Harden than they were with James Harden on the floor without Chris Paul.
I disagree.
Dude, I'm just telling you what the numbers.
I know. I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with them.
And these stats are based on the plus or minus of the point differential of the teams while each other on the court.
I used to be at the game, right? When James go out the game, I promise you I'll be looking over there saying, when is he gonna get back in? So guess what? Maybe my eyes are just it's different. Okay.
Now, in the playoffs, when starters' minutes typically get extended, the Rockets were best when Harden and Paul played together during the playoffs, right? And they were, then separate. But that, I mean, you understand the numbers, the plus or minus, and the plus or minus. It is what it is.
That's I don't like that stat.
Well, I know you don't, because it don't favor.
Yeah, that's right. So when the facts change, the truth change.
Now, as far as the Rockets, remind you one thing about this owner. We told you, Mitch. We started off on this topic about the owner. This is the last that we're talking about the Rockets for the day.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
They're getting a brand new customized jet for the team.
Yes, I heard. Yeah.
You think Drake jet was something? The Rockets jet. Let me tell you what it's going to include inside of it.
It's a 757, isn't it?
767.
A 767?
Yeah.
You know all that mean though. The fuel efficiency is better on the 67. And it's newer.
Yeah, and it's bigger.
Okay. Yeah. Not much bigger.
But guess what's going to have on the inside?
What?
An athletic training area.
I heard about that. Yep.
Lie flat seating.
Yes, sir. So they can get rest.
And everything else the Rockets executives can think of to make it the best plane in the NBA. That's what they're hanging their hat on. And they have $100 million practice facility.
100 mil?
I think it's going to be over by the Post Oak Hotel, over by the Galleria. It's where the Rockets, right over there by the Maestros and the new hotel.
I don't see no room over there.
They got some. I think that's where it's supposed to be. It's over there somewhere, maybe across. There's supposed to be a practice.
So that's just his whole area. That man bought up that whole area.
$100 million practice facility.
Wow.
You follow?
Tell me, ain't playing no game.
And he's already made $10 million upgrades to the Toyota Center in the past 2 years. This owner, as you just saying,
all them sweets down.
He ain't playing.
Oh, he ain't playing no game.
So one thing about it.
Tell me, since he's so great. So we're gonna talk about Tim. Why did he honor that deal? I'm still mad about him honoring that deal because I talked to people last night and they say he did not honor it.
Well, the same way he's honoring D'Antoni's deal with the handshake. It was a handshake from the previous owner, and you always absorb their expenses.
Not all the time.
Name one that had it.
Chop Shop. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, man. Now, who y'all heard say Harden can't do no wrong? You're right, Herb. Herb, I'm gonna take up for you the same way, Herb. Come on, man. Dorian, you handling it over there, Dorian? Look at over there, Jerry. Hey, turn around. We got to see you. We ain't seen you. Hey, Todd Holmes talking about he's that close to the strip club. Man, nobody go to no strip clubs no more.
You ain't got to go to the strip club. You go over there right now. You go over to the Post Oak Hotel and to the Maestro.
You gonna get work.
You ain't got to go to no club.
You gonna be some work.
It's right there at the bar, at the pool, at the restaurant. They working.
Hey, there's some interesting things, Jimmy, going down at the Toyota Center today. What? There's an NBA player working out over there, and he's not from the Rockets. He's just working out over there today. The Rockets were gracious enough to hand out and give him, let him come in and work out today. So it's a NBA player that used to be with the Rockets over there working out right now. So if you can sneak in, you get to see him. Then you know what the hell I'm talking about. Matter of fact, go peek through the window. You can see it. You know, you can peek through that window in the practice. Go down there. Yeah, I'm gonna take up for you if you break the law, Herb. We ain't breaking the law right now, Herb.
He say break the law.
Herb, come on, you're going too far, Herb.
He say you break the law. Herb, Hey, Herb, I think Hannah put some he'll chunk your bet on your books.
I'm gonna make sure you're all right now.
Herb, Hannah gonna buy you some soups.
I'm gonna make sure you're all right up in
Get
there.
some soups and
So you don't have to get no super cracker like the dude snitched in. I'm gonna make sure you have your own super cracker.
that dude gave up everything for
Man,
some soups and some damn.
Man, you home, man. A hungry Negro is a dangerous Negro.
Yeah.
They told me that a long time ago.
And this dude gave him up quick.
Look at Alex Pugh. Alex Pugh is Alex Smith, smart man. But who working him out? Alex Pugh. If you guess me, who working it out, man, I'm gonna give you something. I saw your baby last night too. Your little girl last night. She was at the program last night, Pugh.
So Pugh wasn't there babysitting? He got the baby in the stand?
Mama had the baby last night.
And I'm gonna call CPS on y'all, Pugh. You can't have the mama refereeing while
She
the baby
didn't
around
ref.
there.
No, she was just supervised. She
Okay,
didn't
I'm
ref.
trying to make sure.
No.
We're trying to make sure Pugh got the baby out there in harm's way.
Hey, Todd, I saw that. He was talking about Melo was on Twitter shooting him. He missed too many damn shots. He was wide open. And you know what I didn't like, Todd? He was walking to his spots. I don't like players that walk to the spots. So I don't like that what Melo was doing on Twitter yesterday. You didn't see it, did you, Jimmy?
What, Melo?
He was just shooting shots in the spot. Todd, I can hit them many shots. Jimmy, come on. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. We was taking you on a Rocket soap opera as the Rockets turn. But guess what? We off that. Jimmy, you want to talk about some world champions right now?
Absolutely. I mean,
you want to talk about them?
Yeah,
the world champs.
Between 1.5 and 2 million people were estimated to be in attendance at the victory, the World Championship parade.
There ain't but 2 million people in the city.
I mean, they got Detroit right across the freeway, so
that's where them shooters came.
No, I don't say that, man. They got gun pistols everywhere.
Jim, they don't play that up there in Canada. Listen to me. They don't play that up in Canada. Did you see the police chief?
What did he say?
They don't play that up in Canada. And them dudes from Detroit don't go to, I'll never forget, Jim, it's a great story. This girl, I said, when I was living in Memphis, they said, hey, we're coming to see you from Detroit. I said, okay. Jimmy, they got there. Guess what? Jimmy, I said, well, you need me to pick you up from the airport? No, we driving. Guess why they drove, Jim? They said, we can't go nowhere without these pieces. They keep their guns with them, even the women. So guess what? We're going to find out that people came from Detroit.
Yeah, man.
So what's that?
They said 4
what
people
happened?
were shot, and they've arrested 3 alleged gunmen or people that was involved in, since the parade. I mean, this was unfortunate.
Very
because
unfortunate.
that parade was off.
The chain.
I mean, it was a sea of red.
Yes.
And you can see how, and understand, guys, as much as we root for the underdog, and a lot of people rooted for the underdog, and especially in the champion, the finals, and rooted for Toronto, don't get it twisted. Many Canadians, when it comes to the sport of basketball, already possess a disdain for the United States of America. We are the bullies when it comes to basketball.
Were they the bullies when it comes to hockey?
Well, we ain't talking about hockey right now.
Well, the hockey,
the Maple Leafs,
they didn't win.
We're not talking about them. We're not talking about the Blue Jays in baseball. We're not talking about,
they didn't win.
We're not talking about the Expos when they were in existence before they moved away. But in this situation, remember, every star player that the Raptors have landed, somehow the United States of America, by way of the NBA South, has managed to swoop them away. Every one of them. You think back, since
Tracy McGrady. Who are you talking about?
You had Vince Carter,
Tracy McGrady.
T-Mac.
Okay. Jamie Stoudemire.
Took Stoudemire away.
They didn't take him away. It was time to go.
Mickey Mouse.
It was time to go. They didn't take him away.
They took DeMar DeRozan.
No, they traded for DeMar.
Well, I mean,
dude,
they agreed.
They will still be championshipless if it wasn't for that move they made last year.
Okay, listen.
Last year.
They had to agree. And guess what? It worked out.
But Jimmy.
Now, how about the owner and this Washington rumor? I mean, not the owner, the general manager.
Jimmy, guess what? He's not just your general manager. You got to put some respect on his name. He's also the alternate board of governors.
You know what that means?
I mean, if one of them goes out or can't make it,
No.
he's
It's
sitting
the
in?
owner. See, the board of governors is the 30 owners. Okay? But he can speak.
Oh,
for the
you said
owner.
board of governors.
Yeah, he's a board of governor for the NBA. And everybody don't have that title. A lot of people, a lot of presidents don't have that title. That don't mean he's sitting in for. He got the capacity to sit in for the owner. I just wanted to let you know that's how heavy my share of jury is. But I know you was gonna tear that name up. But keep going.
I mean, it's good. Now, what's the rumor? The rumor when I was up in Charlottesville at the NBPA Top 100 camp last week was that the Washington Wizards were offering, were prepared, a rumor to prepare to offer him a package, which will include
ownership,
a 1% or approximately a 1% ownership stake in the team.
I found out that part wasn't true.
Well, I mean,
I found out that part wasn't true. But the key thing about that, I don't know if you remember, Barack Obama came to the game.
Yeah.
And sat next to him. They're both from Nigeria. One from Kenya, one from Nigeria, but they're good friends. Obama is a part of the team that is recruiting him to come to Washington, D.C. Okay, guess where his wife from? Washington, D.C. So I had to connect it. I did the Jimmy Hicks. I connected the dots.
so what you think gonna happen?
I'm going to Washington, D.C.
You think he's gone?
Yeah.
He gone like what?
Turkey through the cone.
Okay, we gonna see that.
Him and your boy Kawhi gonna sit down. Kawhi said, "Man, I'm gone." You know what? I know where Kawhi going now.
You know where Kawhi going?
I know where he going.
Where he going? I mean,
You going to LA? But not the team y'all think he going to.
Okay.
He going to the Clippers, Jimmy. He going to the Clippers.
Okay, don't get like they do on TV.
The richest owner in the NBA. That's where he going.
So he's going to
Steve Ballmer.
So he's a Clipper. You can book that.
Book that. Book that.
What the Clippers going to give up?
He got to give up nothing. He's on the free. He's a free
I'm just
agent.
making sure.
He's a free agent. He ain't got to give up
Yeah,
nothing.
he unrestricted.
Yeah.
And
guess what? And they got capital.
Well, you see, the thing is, after the parade, there was a glimmer of hope for anybody that's a Toronto fan because that parade was great, aside from the shooting, right? And
But did that many people, Jimmy? Something gonna happen.
Understand? It's one thing that I found that's intriguing about Toronto and the Kawhi situation, right? And that is Kawhi. And this is really, one thing about it, man, it's a numbers game. And you always, a lot of people are playing from contract to contract and making sure they're in the best position to maximize their worth when it comes to deals. So how about this? If he goes to the Clippers, then Kawhi can get $140 million over 4 years, right? But the cap rules,
if he stay there,
would mean he could make potentially tens of millions more if he signs a long-term deal in 2021. And here's why. Because in 2021 will mark his 10th season in the NBA. And once
so sign a short time deal first, like
a 1 year deal.
Like
1 year deal.
You remember LeBron did a 2 year deal.
Yes. And that was the reason
Yes.
why.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
Now, understand, with Kawhi, he could sign. Now we're gonna see just how understand, he's gonna get paid.
Yeah, he gonna get paid.
No matter what.
Yes.
But when you really get to pulling back the layers, why the hell would you leave money on the table that's yours? So if you're Kawhi, now the only gamble is
Jim, he left it on the table at San Antonio.
Yeah, but it was a gamble.
No, he turned that down too.
He turned that down at
$200 million down debt.
Turned that clean down.
Okay.
So here's the thing. The gamble is the injury. That's what you're racing. That's what you're playing against.
Okay.
You're playing against your health. So if Kawhi Leonard leaves this money on the table, we're talking about tens of millions of dollars. Understand? Once again, if
he left it on the table before. So you saying if he keep tempting fate?
Yes, that's what he's risking.
Okay.
Now, once again, it's potentially.
But Jimmy, he's in a position, right? He had a night. This gonna finish his $94 million deal. He already done.
Yeah.
That's gonna finish. So I don't want to tell him about it. I don't want no money, but he's taking care of his money.
Still.
Okay.
Still,
Take that money.
once again, the golden rule is why would you leave it on the table?
Well, he left it before.
If they already, again, thank you.
Yeah.
Why would you leave another pot of food on the table and you know you're going to be hungry tonight? You know what
Because he said I can play 1 year for $30 million.
33.
$33 million.
With a 36 option for the second year.
Okay, and then Steve Ballmer already said, dude, I'm the richest owner in the NBA. Whatever you want, I got you.
Well, the richness is not the person.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's about how deep he's going to want to go into the go into the luxury tax.
That's what he's telling you. These other guys on a budget. I got an unlimited budget. Somebody go Google Steve Ballmer's net worth.
Once again, all those guys are billionaires.
Yeah, but not like this one.
But still, all of them are billionaires, Howard. So it matters on how much you're willing to put into that versus for your risk versus reward. That's the thing when it comes down to. Now, with Kawhi Leonard, is he worth it? Guess what? He just proved and showed you what he could do.
In 1 year.
He showed you. Dude, Kawhi Leonard, for all you guys out there of biblical proportion, Kawhi Leonard took a loaf of bread and fed
5,000. I know you don't know. 5,000 plus women and children.
Howard turned into Benny Hinn. I ain't lying, y'all. And so
five fish and 2 barley loaves, Jimmy.
and Meshach and the Billy Goat. But anyway, you going. But anyway, understand this is going to be real intriguing. And of course, coming up this week on Thursday, the NBA draft.
Yes.
And another thing that I found out this weekend about the draft, and it really kind of, I'm not going to even lie to you guys. I always felt some kind of way about in the recent years about NBA draft boards, or the projections and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I felt some kind of way once I've learned and went and met some of the people who comprise them. Then you look at them and they don't fit. You ever saw that movie The Wiz?
But Jimmy, that don't mean nothing though, Jimmy. Just because you didn't play the game don't mean you can't report it.
No.
And evaluate it.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The swag isn't there. That's what I'm saying. So then somebody, when I was at Charlottesville, talking to one of the NBA guys, or a couple of them, it was about a group of us sitting around, about 3 or 4 of us, and we were up there talking, and they explained and enlightened me the draft boards. That's why now they've doubled in the last 5-6 years in the amount of them that's out there.
Why have they doubled?
Because some of the main core of the two had become so infiltrated with influence of favors from agents. That means an agent had the power to manipulate a certain player being listed on that board, and that means now would make that player make him want to go and sign with that agent because he's thinking, making him seem that he's done him a favor, him meaning the prospect. And that means that's why one of the reasons why so many people, so many kids gets hit in the head. We had a kid from
It's the same thing with the people with the rankings.
With the high school rankings.
Yeah.
Manipulate.
Yes.
You can manipulate those as so,
Yes.
but it's much less at stake, Hannah.
Oh yeah.
Much less at stake. But anyway, Chop Shop guys, we right back. We dive into that conversation a lot more.
Wow.
We come right back.
Hey baby, did you learn how to do the you learn how to do the
You need to start fire? Yeah.
She thinks she's so cold.
Man, I told you a long time ago.
She's so cold.
Alan. Don't think about the people we saw do that, boy. And I said to you a long time ago, I never was no. I said it a long
It's
time.
hard for us to do this and that at the same time.
If some people that we saw do it.
Oh yeah. Don't do that, Jimmy. We don't have.
I'm just
Come
so
on, Jimmy.
so that's why I knew it wasn't no problem. I knew it wasn't no doubt in my mind.
She was nervous too. With her.
Yeah, she had the right to be.
I got it, Robert.
I did not say
We can't wait that first game. That first game, you can't wait. No, don't be no many people in the building. They're gonna hear us over there hollering. We're gonna be hollering out.
Oh no! Oh my God!
We gonna be PG.
Oh no!
They might kick us out.
I'm gonna be courtside on your game.
They might kick us out, and you gonna run some laps the next day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get put her in the game.
No. Jimmy, they might run some laps. She might run some laps after the game like Bobby Knight used to do.
You know, coach get mad when you say put her
I'm gonna be talking about put her in the game.
And that's when they really don't.
What's your number? What's your number, Dory? Number 3. Oh, put 3 in the game. Oh, y'all. Hey, we got U of H women's games.
I'm gonna say, coach.
We gotta be there, baby.
Coach, you better go read the portal in the morning. You'll put her back in the game.
That's right.
You'll be in that portal. I'm gonna tell Coach, you gonna learn next time because
who is the coach? Man, let me look. I don't even know the coach. You know the coach? I don't know.
I know the old coach.
I don't know. Hey, coach, you better do right. You better do right, coach. That chop shop gonna be on you, like the beehive.
They're gonna be dead on. She gonna.
What you writing over there?
So
I believe that alone. What up, Todd? Man, what y'all been doing out there? Jimmy, I might have a mailbag for you. Oh, you got
we
something?
gotta get in the mailbag.
No.
It's time. We're on the back 9. We do this for tomorrow.
Okay, we say that tomorrow. We don't want to talk about old Mello gonna try.
We talk about all that.
Mello
right
want to come over there and hang out with RJ. RJ gonna bust his head wide open to the white meat.
No, that's not. They both got the capability to whoop each other. That dude can score now.
That's all right.
Just can't stop nobody from scoring.
What then? What? No won't Bill.
Yeah, New Orleans do.
Oh no.
For that 4
Anybody won't be. Hey Jimmy. Hey y'all. Hey, I heard LA don't want Kyrie.
No. I got a hell of a stat about
You're
Kyrie.
not even whispering.
They don't know, y'all.
Let me tell y'all what I found out about Kyrie.
Kyrie.
I did not realize. How about this?
Yeah, man.
Let me give you this stat. This is a statistic
Give me.
from Kyrie. Check this out.
These folks don't want him,
check
man.
this out. Check this out. This season, right? The Boston Celtics was 12-3 with when Kyrie Irving did not play.
In the playoffs?
This season.
Okay.
They didn't play 15 playoff games.
Okay.
Now, the Celtics have won more games since they got Kyrie. They've won more games without him than they did with him. I'll read you the numbers.
Chris Charles, that's a good one. Who's a sleeper in the NBA draft? I got something for you. You bring it back.
We're officially on the back 9. Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour. The best 120 minutes of your day. And guess what, guys? Give a shout out to a lot of the people watching us via Facebook and what we call the Boom Boom Room. And simply go to Facebook, type in ChopShopHTX, and there you have it. You can watch us interact with a lot of the viewers from all over the world. Give a shout out. I see a few of them out there right now. Chris Charles.
Yes, sir.
Alfio V's
Alfio.
is checking us out.
Jeffrey Day.
I mean, a lot of the guys out there. I'm watching Richard Scott.
Where my women at?
Jeff Johnson, they wait until tomorrow. Remember Rock Wednesday.
Kyle Cole still from in Algeria, man.
In Algeria?
Yes.
You better get them shots before you come back.
Yes, sir.
Get them shots. And of course, so, and we love you guys because this is one of the things that makes the Chop Shop a grand experience during the day. It helps to expedite the middle of your workday. If you're at work, it helps to get you where you're going a little bit easier if you're in your vehicles. It helps at the workplace to be more productive, get a good chuckle in, and also be entertained and informed at the same time while at work. That's what the Chop Shop does. And we asking you guys to make sure, just simply throughout the show, if you're on your computer, hit the share button, and then hit the share with friends. Share the show with your friends. And you'll never know, it's a small world. And this is not your normal type of sports talk show. That's basically in a nutshell. You're not going to get a whole lot of bells and whistles and gimmicks with the Chop Shop. We'll take on topics and we'll go and peel back layers that many other shows would not dare to do so. And you guys can see there's a drastic change that's going on now because a lot of the mainstream shows have begun to realize. Meaning that, think about how many people in the sport of basketball, how many people in the last 2 years of color, minorities, that have been hired, right, and as basketball analysts. That's been coming on, and so the time is coming, but at the same time, behind these microphones, guys, when it comes to the media, amateur media, when I say amateur, I mean we primarily, me personally, primarily cover the amateur sector of basketball. And how that deals a lot with the professional sector of
yeah,
sports.
I don't cover it, but yeah.
I say you deal
with it, yeah.
Of sports.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we say amateur sports, because we in other words, on the Chop Shop, you will get more dialogue and more conversations about amateur sports than any other sports talk show in the United States. That's on the FM radio dial in the United States. And that's the difference in the Chop Shop. Thank you guys for making it happen. So without further ado, we give you now our starting five. And the starting five is the first 5 viewers who tuned into the Chop Shop at the top of the show. It's our way of saying thanks to you guys and giving you a shot to just enhance some of your street cred. Enhance your work cred. Enhance your car cred. We make the air conditioner blow a little cooler when you hear your names comes through the speakers. So without further ado, the starting 5.
I got you first. Marquessa Carter, Clarence Thomas, Darrell Anderson, Chris O'Neal, and Jeffrey Day.
Okay, and my starting 5, of course, is Alex Pugh, Todd Holmes, Lionel Garr, Corey Willis, and Michael Smith. And of course, today's starting 5 is brought to you by the George McClellan Invitational, the GMI. Guys, this tournament has been going into the 15th year of the GMI, or the 16th year. Last year was the 15th. Since 2004, the seasons, and it's during the live period. Division I coaches are able to attend. You guys can go visit the website GMFcares.com. GMF, that stands for George McClellan Foundation. GMFcares.com. It's a youth basketball tournament, and it is normally one of your top tournaments in this area during the July period. Check out the GMI, and for college coaches, they know the hospitality room at the GMI is it. You know what? And the thought about it, back in the old days,
I'll be gone all the time, so I
know, but back in the old days, hospitality room used to be restaurant driven. It would be a restaurant sponsor. It would be somebody, an Olive Garden or Papa Do's or whatever, a Buffalo Wing place or something. But then the GMI came, and we did all of the dishes were homemade, even the desserts, homemade. And that kind of changed the game. There have been coaches that flew in on their private jets, came to the gym, bought a coach's packet, got a bowl of gumbo or some Creole spaghetti, and got the hell up out of there. That has happened several times. Didn't even stay an hour. Came to support the event. And that's one of the things so this hospitality room, what does that mean? Because that's only for the college coaches. Well, guess what? You have to, sometimes if the talent pool isn't potent, you have to have a reason for a coach to lure them there or to keep them there if they're already in the building. Because they have to go around the corner to go get them something to eat. It ain't guaranteed they're going to come back. You follow me, guys? So a good hospitality room will keep them there, and it can lure them there. So if you don't understand what that means and how attractive it is when you're doing event hospitality. And so now we're talking about a lot of professional talk and NBA talk. Now going into the draft, which will take place on Thursday, the NBA draft. And of course, the number 1 pick is a foregone conclusion because Zion Williamson, people down in New Orleans are feeling really, really fine about their team right now. And you think about it, what are the expectations? There's no pressure for New Orleans to make the playoffs this year. There's no pressure for them to win no championship, and them fans gonna be happy as a lark. All they need is a good dunk, one good dunk every quarter from Zion. That's 8 points. That's 8 points right there. Now you got to get the rest. Got to get it how he live. But they need a dunk every quarter.
I just hope he don't turn out to be Anthony Bennett. But I got to give a shout out. Anthony Weston said, Mr. Haddon, Mr. Hicks, please give a shout out to the folks watching in Hampton, Virginia. I love Hampton, Virginia. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta in the house. Huntsville, Alabama, and Camden County, Georgia. Shout out to everybody who's watching in that area. I appreciate the love. The Chop Shop. And guess what? Keep on and tell your people in that area that let's get the Chop Shop so we can be live and syndicated in your city. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So now how about LaMelo Ball?
What about
so
LaMelo?
LaMelo Ball, as it just came out, he's officially declared that he's going to be playing in Australia in the NBL.
Yeah.
Right? Now LaMelo Ball, the younger brother of Lonzo Ball.
I heard he got good too.
And he's grown. Alan. They're listing him at 6'7" now, which that means he could be 6'6".
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
He's grown, and that's true because guess what? How tall is Lonzo?
6'6", 6'7". Yeah.
And so now he's ranked number 21 on ESPN right now in the class of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember a year ago, LaMelo went and played over in Lithuania, and you could tell because the NCAA cloud was hovering over when Melo came back to the United States. He enrolled in a prep school called Spire Academy. Well, upon doing so, a lot of their opponents announced that they was not going to play this school during the regular season. They said, we're not going to play y'all. So it kind of sent the wrinkles throughout their schedule. They had to go and scrap to find replacement games, and it kind of, and I know they had to feel some kind of way, but at the same time, the reason was you went and played professional ball.
Right.
So you're a pro.
You're a pro.
In the eyes of some of the people.
And I just wondered, did nobody, I just didn't understand that move. That move wasn't thought out.
Which move?
To have him go back to school, to a prep school, like he and forget he just was playing professional. Jimmy, it's simple to me. I really don't understand somebody not saying, dude, once you play overseas for money, you can't come back over here and play. I thought everybody knew that.
Remember, they were attempting to fight it with some. Well, he didn't play. They were attempting to try.
They paid their daddy. No, you played. So, you signed with an agent.
And so you can tell because he was not selected to the McDonald's All-American game. He was not selected to the Jordan Brand game. Matter of fact, his dad, LeVar Ball, went and established his own All-Star game, which Xavier Wheeler went and made co-MVP up in Las Vegas.
That's right.
And so this situation now, let me tell you something. In case you guys don't understand, Melo Ball can play.
Yes, sir.
No, seriously, he could play.
Oh, yeah, he's a player. Yeah.
And so now,
why did the other brother go over there?
The other brother, let me tell you what I was thinking this morning. I was sitting back.
Because he said he's going to be a top pick too.
No.
Your daddy said.
Let me tell you something. In baseball, 66% is real good. You can go in the Hall of Fame. If you can that's in baseball. In basketball, you can shoot 66% from the field, and you'll make 6 digits, right? Well, in this situation, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So you said Jello ain't good?
No. I'm gonna tell you what.
The daddy said Jello gonna be that.
I thought of the perfect.
The dad ain't lied yet now.
Yes, he had.
Dad said, did his son get drafted? Number 1, did he go to Lakers?
Yes, he did.
What did he lie about?
He said all 3 of his sons gonna be Lakers.
What did Magic?
He said the team.
What was Magic for?
He said the team gonna make the playoffs.
That was Magic for.
He said that.
They would have got together.
He said the JBL was gonna be a success. That's another thing he lied about.
I'm talking about things that he can control.
He can control all 3.
No, he couldn't. He already told y'all. Magic Man ain't the dude I thought he was, man. Magic is a puppet over there. He said that, and now y'all understand. Magic, he said Magic's just a figurehead over there, man. He ain't doing nothing.
Well, guess what? I'm not mad at LeVar Ball because everybody who tries to go and play the game with LeVar Ball ends up getting played. And guess what? I'm not mad at you. Play on, play it. And that's what I'm talking about with LeVar Ball. And we'll talk a lot more about this and a lot more topics. We come back on the Chop Shop.
LeVar.
Now, tell you about this LaMelo Ball deal during the break, guys. Take it on over. He averaged last year, in case you wondered, he only averaged 6.5 points, 2.4 assists a game, and he only averaged 13 minutes a game in Lithuania. Remember, he didn't play a lot. You saw the mixtapes. The mixtape, don't nobody miss on the mixtape. Remember that. Everybody.
I got a mixtape. You got a mixtape?
So
Why you ain't got no mixtape?
So check this out. Check this out about him. What they said. This is the good part about it.
Racist scholarship.
Remember the coach at the Spire Academy?
Yeah.
The coach at his high school this season is Jermaine Jackson. Right? Jermaine Jackson played in the league. He played in the NBA. So guess what? He played 130 games in 5 seasons.
Okay.
That's not bad. That's about 20-something games a season.
Okay.
You know, that's journeyman. But he got a pension.
Who live right here?
Yeah, that's it right there. You needed one of them badges to get. That's what I'm saying. Everybody had to have a badge, different color. That's how you needed that to get into the building.
I done went out. Boy, y'all better be glad I'm on this thing. I done went up there and said, man. I done went to Kinko. Hey, I done went to Kinko's on them. Hey, I done went to Kinko's on them. Hook me and you up one of these motherfuckers so quick. We done coming out like, yeah. Hey. Hey man, I got a question, man.
Man, I'm telling them about this situation about the LaMelo.
Okay.
This is really intriguing.
I'm sorry.
So you understand how smart this program, this team is in Australia. This team in Australia, one of the things about it, they're gonna get their money back because they don't pay that much over there. It's just an opportunity for him to play on that platform.
Right.
So check this out. As of last week, LaMelo Ball, how about this? LaMelo has 4.5 million followers on Instagram.
More than Zion.
He got more than Zion.
Yes.
People don't realize it. This Melo,
Right.
he got more than Zion.
Yes, sir.
And understand, and check this out. That team only got, to put it in perspective, the whole
75,000, something like that.
No, they're 78. 78,000. So I'm curious, Dolo, you can go on Instagram and find this team and see how many followers they got right now. Right?
Pronounce it, Tim.
Over in
he said it this morning. I couldn't. Latrice says she hope they get his money back from old Crooked House.
I'm gonna give her the
They ain't getting that money back.
I'm gonna give her the thing so she can look it up and this team this city is about 55 miles outside of Sydney, Australia. So he's right by the
he right by the cap?
yeah. So that's the welcome back to the Chop Shop. 30 minutes past the hour. Man, time flying by fast. And give a shout out to, I got Walter Yates out there checking the Chop Shop.
What up, Yates?
Yeah, he's in the financial service industry now.
Man, that man got a job every week.
Yeah, give a shout. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Sit down, son.
And speaking, he says sit down somewhere. And I mean, we got so much, and we have some more news to share with you guys. I'm gonna put it up shortly, and that was this whole type of me. We come back next break. Meanwhile, we promised you guys today to share more details about the top 100 camp.
Yeah.
And a lot of people had questions. Then you got some stuff in your mailbag.
I might.
As well. So
Can't find it.
You can't find your mailbag?
my mailbag. Somebody knocked my mailbag off. What Shaf said? What Shaf said to? No.
I checked Shaf out last night too.
Okay.
I checked it out. Good flick. Now, the NBPA Top 100 camp was this past weekend, and yesterday we went through and acknowledged the MVP and also acknowledged one of the players from the Texas who participated in the camp and fared pretty good, and that was Tremont Mark. But at the same time, I added some insight so that people wouldn't take numbers and run with them. You know, such as he led the camp in assists. Now you can take that and run with it, and that's Tremont Mark. He's committed to the University of Houston. He's about 6'4". He's a guard out of Dickinson High School. That's going to right between Houston and Galveston. Pretty much is Dickinson. And Tremont Mark, he was 7 for 28 from 3-point lane. Mind
you don't bring that up again.
No, I just had to give him the recap because he led the camp in assists, 5 assists a game. So he led them in assists per game, and he averaged over 25 minutes a game. But at the same time, the young man he was in the backcourt with Vernon Maxwell's son, Tristan Maxwell, and they both combined in 5 games. They combined to attempt 71 3-pointers. So, and that explains why their team only won 1 game the entire experience. Jonathan Alcoux, he's a big fella out of the Dallas area at high school. He's about 6'8". He's a rugged power forward on the blocks. He had a pretty good weekend based on the expectations of him. Meaning that different people comes into camp. The more decorated you are, the more hyped that you are, the more is going to be expected when people lay eyes on you. You ever hear people, you go to a ball game and somebody say, hey man, you got to see this dude. This dude a pro. Or, man, this dude automatic. Or this dude the best thing since whatever. Well, in this situation, Aku wasn't one of those guys. He just brought his lunch pail to give to work, put his hard hat on, and guess what? You know, he opened up with a 15.7 rebounds in his first game. That was his best game of the week. But then, you know, he ended up averaging 7.5 points, 6.5 rebounds in only 16 minutes. So if you think about a regular game, that would be a 32-minute game. That would be transferable to 15 points, 13 rebounds a game. You see, so he put in work, played with the second unit on his team. Eddie Lampkin did a dunk on the night of the scrimmages that went viral.
So it wasn't on the live day.
It wasn't on the live day. The coaches couldn't see that.
Oh, so he didn't get no dunk that day.
He got a dunk that day, but it
wasn't like that.
He didn't have any punctuating performances while the coaches were there. And he had 18 points now on the last game that the coaches saw. But after that was the coaches got a chance to see the players play 4 games after. So they saw you play 1, 2, 3, and they get to see that 4th one. He had 18 points that game. That was the most he had all weekend. But the game before that, he had 0 with 11 rebounds, but the 0 points. You see? So people had already formed their conclusion that Eddie, he played good. He played good in this camp.
I think you said something to me one time. You said, Robert, it's just so easy to be average in a camp like this.
Oh man, yeah.
So easy. What do you mean by that term? It's easy to be average.
Because it's so many. See, you playing so many games in a condensed amount of time against so great of talent. Mm-hmm.
But I heard the talent pool really wasn't great. That great.
Put it like this: if this was a sneaker circuit, you follow me? Mm-hmm. If this was the sneaker circuit, it would be the most potent sneaker circuit.
I'm sorry. No. It wasn't as potent as it was in previous years.
Yeah, because in previous years you would get more. Like the year before, James Wiseman was at USA Basketball, but he came over.
Yeah, I got you. That's what I meant.
You see what I'm saying? So in previous years, you would be coming off the back end of USA Basketball, right? So guys could leave early and then come on over to the top 100 camp and you know and get it in.
Okay.
Well, last year was right before it as it was this year. But here's the deal: this year, no, they weren't able to draw the top shelf players. It almost became, it was. So the mask is off. USA Basketball and NBA Top 100 camp, they're rivals right now. Now, in the past, one would try to shake the other one's hand, and they're still going to shake hands. It's not like the enemy.
Oh, so it's a contest.
No. It is now. After this year, because what happens is, parents.
Why would the NBAPA try to take away from USA Basketball?
No, they didn't in the past.
Okay.
They didn't in the past. They would try to explain to the kids, okay, we would fly you from there or fly you to there from here if you came here. Try to make it work for you. If you want to come here and play a game in front of the coaches. And here's the thing but then USA Basketball, allegedly, this is according, because you realize parents would say and explain why in their defense to all the summer coaches or whoever the person of influence would explain their defense. And while they explain their defense, some people would say, well, this is the reason why we didn't come, is because, USA Basketball, they try to say we should get our rest before coming. You see how that goes now? We should rest our legs before coming.
So that means don't go there.
You see how it goes?
Okay.
And
so why are these events so close together?
Well, USA Basketball, the FIBA is already set. So
that means why don't the Players Association go around that?
Well, and that's the thing. You try to move. They've moved it once. Then USA Basketball moved once. Okay. So now you're chasing it. So now they're entertaining the thought of possibly moving it again. The date, that is. Right. But then where do you go to? Because now Nike is a sponsor, is the outfitter. So they're a sponsor
for what?
For the NBA Top 100 camp.
Because one year you had some Under Armour stuff.
Yeah, they were sponsored up until 2 years ago.
You had an Under Armour shirt on. Yeah. So Nike sponsored it this year?
Nike been sponsored for 3 years, going on 2 years.
I don't keep up with this.
So here's the deal. Mm-hmm. So if think about this, Nike has their own event. This is great.
But Nike also sponsors USA Basketball.
Peach Jam is coming up. So where you move it to? You can't move it too close.
When is Peach Jam?
Then you have St. Louis, the Elite 100 camps.
So it's not enough weeks.
So remember, Nike just moved Elite 100 camp away from this week. Remember last year, this would be the week.
I don't remember.
Well, this would be the week that I annually go to St. Louis.
Okay.
But now that's moved until next week because Nike want to move it out of the way because the staff has to go, and a lot of the people that work in grassroots with Nike have to be present for these events.
Do we have people from Houston? From Houston going to that?
To Elite 100?
Yeah.
We have people from Texas, yes, going.
No Houston.
No Houston. We have people that playing on Houston teams. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's attending. And those are the top sophomores with maybe about, I think I went through the numbers, maybe about 10 or 12 freshmen mixed in, combined. That would be in St. Louis. And that takes place starting next Tuesday in St. Louis. I think next Monday evening is orientation. But back into this thing, to the Top 100 camp, we mentioned Eddie Lampkin. Another kid that played down there was Michael Peavy. Mm-hmm. Now, Michael Peavy is from Duncanville High School. He was the MVP of the state championship game. The state champion Duncanville Panthers, Michael Peavy, and he's had a super summer. He's been putting in work with the Nike Pro Skills team. But he got to this event, and when I mentioned earlier, it's easy to be average. Michael Peavy averaged 4 points a game, 2 assists a game, 1.7 rebounds a game, and in 16 and a half minutes. For the MVP of the highest classification in the state of Texas, that ain't a good day at the office. It ain't. And Peavy knows. The thing about us, I talked with him and his dad, and he was in good spirits. Not a big thing. It's like you shot your shot, and it didn't work. It didn't work out. Meanwhile, Peavy is in good space because he has a chance to redeem himself at Peach Jam, and also at the NCAA camps in July. Jahari Long from Episcopal High School is another one is the fifth young man from the state of Texas who participated and was selected to play in the Top 100 camp. Jahari Long, he was a late invite. He arrived at camp. His numbers were 4.4 points a game, 1.4 rebounds, 1.2 assists in 19 minutes. His high game was 6 points, 3 rebounds. Bottom line with Jahari Long, he plays, and he's been one of the most talked about players in the Greater Houston area. He's currently ranked in the top 3 in the area. This camp just was a little bit too much for him on this particular weekend. Bottom line. And you remember, you said it earlier. So this camp can serve as a reality check for a lot of people. And because had he went there and showed up and showed out, what do you think everybody around him would be saying right now? There'd be King Kong in their chest right now.
Right. So
this one of those things. So I'm glad he got a chance to go, because otherwise, people like him would say, "Man, I could have went there and I wrecked shop." Okay. So now it helps to know next time.
Don't try to. Yeah. Yes.
When you don't get selected, this is the reason. You have to be a certain type of player.
So I know we're wrapping up. I want you, when we come back, I want you to explain, like, we don't have any Nike underclassmen in the Houston area good enough to make this Nike game you talking about, this Nike program in I don't know the name of it in St. Louis. So I just, you can talk about that during the break. Chop, back in a minute. Yeah, we don't have underclassmen in this area.
Well, you got to be for you got to play for Nike.
I said that. What's it?
Yeah.
Underclassmen, Nike. What I said. I said, you telling me Houston don't have any top Nike underclassmen?
Well, it's like this. First of all, the primary kids are going to be plucked. They're going to be 16 U's, right? Primarily, they're going to be 16 U's.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be exceptional as a 15U. So the JL3 has one 16 and under player that was selected. He's a young man, I think, from Bryan, Texas. Plays with John Lucas' team. The Houston Hoops has a 16 under team, and I don't think none of those guys they were so compatible. They didn't have one guy that was like the guy that that transferred over. That was like the future. They didn't have one face on their 16s that people saying that's it.
So we just forget Houston, just go somewhere else.
What?
Because other cities, so they saying other cities gonna have some better players.
Well, this year.
So Houston just ain't got no good players.
Well, this year we had
and not under Nike.
Not under Nike.
Okay.
And guess what? You know how you.
So you have to. She said, "Do you have to be playing for a Nike 82?" Let me tell you something. 9.9 times out of 10, to me, you have to be on a Nike team.
Oh no, ain't no 9 times, 10 times out of 10 now.
Yeah.
Ain't no way around it now.
Yeah. Because they don't want a good player from another program allowing them to come in. Because guess what they're gonna say? Well, why this player is not on the Nike team? I mean, you know what? I think that you know how I feel about that. I don't even want to get on them guys no more about that.
What you say?
I don't even want to get on these guys no more because I mean, well then, Houston, Texas, the largest city, don't have a player. Man, come on.
Don't have a player.
Don't have a player in this game. It's asinine. It's asinine.
Okay, if understand something. This is the top.
And the only reason is their top guys in the night. So sometimes Houston just ain't gonna have no top player for night.
If you look at the numbers and you think about it like this, there are 40 teams, right? And there are 40 teams, just say for example. And if you take 2 players off each team, that's gonna be 80 slots, right? So let's say if half of the 15 other teams got a stud that's a 9th grade, that's 10 most.
So they'll take the 40 players.
They take, listen, I just said.
No, I'm listening.
If it's 40 teams.
I know how many players do they take?
100.
Okay.
If it's 40 teams on 16 and under.
Okay.
And you took 2 teams off each. This
players off each team.
On the average.
That's 80.
That's 80.
Okay.
In the 15s, if half of those have 1 that's good enough.
Okay.
That would be 20.
Okay. So
that's 100 right there.
That's 100. Okay.
Right? So that now, but all 40 don't have a player. We know that.
Okay.
Right? But then it averages out to 2 because one team might have 3 and the other might have 1.
Right. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, taking you all the way in. We're going to close it out this last segment. Jimmy, I just asked you a question. I guess you answered it. It's just, I was just concerned. But it's just, when you break down the numbers, this is a Nike event, and they want their guys on their teams in this event. And I understand that. When I thought about it, because it's invite only, when it's your party, so all the other shoe companies got an option to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So if Adidas, you want your top, what you call the camp again? What's the camp called? The Nike Top 100?
Elite 100.
Elite 100. So I guess, if you want to play in a Nike event, young men out there, you got to play on the Nike team.
Well, yeah.
If you want to play in a Nike's event,
if you want to have a chance,
you want to have a chance. I'm talking about the good. I'm talking about the guys that's good enough. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about this. Yeah. So that's it. And now I really, really understand it. When you look at the numbers, they got to look out for their own guys first.
Well, and I understand. It makes sense.
It makes sense
because it now what it does, it reinforces the the boundary, it keeps the relationships intact, because for every guy that you have to go outside your sneaker line to get at for such a young camp, right? Then that means that's one spot that you're taking away from your own.
Yeah, I got you. I'm understanding.
And that summer coach who's believing in the system, or so you speak, trusting the process. And he's
but if you ain't got no good players in your team, so they just reach out somewhere else on another Nike program, because they might have 3. Or they might have, okay.
Because guess what? Somebody is dominating. Some team out there, like Bradley Beal Elite and Herb talked about it before, that team there's a monster.
Okay.
So they might have.
Did any Dallas kids? Did one of the Dallas kids?
And guess where Bradley Beal is located? Where they based out of?
St. Louis. That's the
so
city.
you got to put nobody on the plane. so
I got a quick question for you. You probably don't have a list in there. Who we got from Dallas?
Well, we got about
a lot of them from there.
Yeah, we got.
Because Dallas Nike teams are really
they're
good.
And then we have a Langston Love from out of San Antonio that played the hoops.
Oh, okay.
You got about 3 kids from the Houston Hoops 17s, right?
On the 17th.
You have Coon.
That's in. I thought. The Elite 100. I thought this was for the younger guys.
Now you see how the numbers are be interpreted now. Think about how many 10th graders are playing 17s. You're thinking about just the young teams. It's the young players.
The young players. I got you.
So
my bad.
now you understand how.
I got you. Okay. So yeah, they ain't got time to go outside again. I got you. I'm one player. Nike, I'm sorry. I was finna get on y'all, but hey, boy, the numbers, it's just so it stops at 100 for real. It don't do like it's 100.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 100.
So 10 teams, 10 players.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And
I like that.
And so that once again that take place next week. And also want to remind you guys, where's the on Ford? What is our guy? We're good friends with the Robert Ory Sports Medicine and Rehab. Yeah. They're teaming up with Michael Rozier, right?
Michael Rozier.
Yeah, former Houston Oilers. And
Heisman Trophy winner from Nebraska.
A luncheon with the kids.
Okay.
In honor of fathers. This is going to take place this Saturday at the Wyndham Energy Corridor. It's going to be hosted by Bishop James Dixon.
Great man.
And his son.
Okay.
All right, James Dixon III. And what reason we're telling you guys about this? Remember
and it's called, Jimmy. It's the honors of fathers, right? The luncheon with the kids in honor of their fathers.
And so these are luncheon with kids. I think their fathers are gone, like on vacation or dead.
I don't know. It's produced.
But anyway, guess what we have?
What we got?
We are going to on tomorrow, Women Rock Wednesday. We're going to be giving away a pair of passes for families to go and take some young people to this event. And you know, like a mama and a son, or a mama and a daughter, or and a father and son. But we're going to give away passes into this. So stay tuned. Make sure on tomorrow. That way, you guys can have time to call in and get your passes to this thing. It's going to take place on Saturday.
Yeah, at the Wyndham out there in the energy corridors out there on I-10, I-10 Eldridge area, Highway 6 area. That's the energy corridor.
And this is hosted by Mike Rozier. And once again, that's going to be on tomorrow. So you guys stay tuned for that. And now what's in your mailbag? You guys, people send some emails in. They got something they want to get out their chest.
Yeah, but I told you that. You know what? I saw an interesting tweet. I want you to help me out. Somebody did this. I'm gonna make y'all laugh a little bit because this is a cookie monster. It's a cookie monster situation, Jimmy. They said, some guy said, if you're a single mother with a 6'8" freshman with soft hands, then you're single by choice. Don't you laugh at that?
I'm not even.
I'm just y'all. This was on the Twitter. This was on Twitter.
Say that's a mail that I write on the outside of it.
Do not
live in anymore. Return at December. Give me another piece of mail.
I got
one.
Back
in the mail back.
Somebody said, I really can't stress how important it is for parents to instill education first attitudes in their children. Just got off the phone with a parent. Most of these high school, AAU, and college coaches
don't have your child's best interest at heart.
Mhm.
So make sure at least you do.
That's good. That's a bingo right there. I mean, and here's the thing. Think about what you're saying. So
Mhm.
I receive and I co-sign a lot of those tweets and comments of such.
Mhm.
But think about it. That's one size. You're throwing it out there, and you're throwing it out there like it's one size fits all. In most cases, the person that's over the summer team has a pre-existing relationship,
Mhm.
right? You know, with the dad, with the family. That's the cousin. That's the uncle. That's the their sons. They grew up together in high school. In most cases, there's a pre-existing relationship. Talking about at the younger age, they live around the corner from each other. They're geographically neighbors. So you're saying this guy don't have the best interest of those kids in hand.
Mhm.
And that person would then turn to grow defensive towards that type of comment. Because that person will say, look, lady, you don't know me. I work this many hours a day, I make this, I got my own kid, I don't have no problem. So this is how it goes. Now the thing is, in the older kids, we know there's a disconnect. You know why you know? There's a reason that the attendance in youth basketball or youth sporting events is tripled or quadrupled in attendance when you go see them when they play when they're 9 and 10 years old versus when they're 18, 17, 18 years old.
The interest is, the stakes are more higher.
It's a big difference.
Mhm.
Grandma going to see him, sister, brother, cousin. I mean, everybody's there. All hands on deck then.
Wow.
And then guess what? Is there more haves or have-nots? It's more have-nots. So as they get older, then people have something to do. Going to see you play ain't worth me missing TV. And that we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Yes,
and
we're
a
going
lot
to talk
more.
about that. Because I got some more.
Join us in our mailbag.
Got
And guess
more.
what? We talked
Mhm.
about the NBPA Top 100 camp. And of course, guys, that's one of my badges
Yeah,
right
that's your
there.
badge.
And I come back.
You got
and
one
I-
bag.
And I got another bag.
What
right
you
here.
bring me? You usually bring me something back, man.
I got some good stuff.
You usually bring me something
I got
back,
some
man.
stuff right here.
You always bring me the ugly stuff.
I got the bag.
I don't want that.
But guess what? You don't got to wear.
What you got? What else you got?
I got a shirt for you and Dodo.
Oh, but yeah, you always bring me something back, boy.
There you go.
Well, we got to wrap
There
this
you go
thing
right
up.
there.
Chop,
There you
chop. We'll be back tomorrow.
We got special guests coming on tomorrow
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
Ooh, man.
Special guest.
Oh, man. It's going down tomorrow. You see you guys in 22 hours. Coming up next, the Al
Rucker Show.
It's going to take you for the next 4 hours. It's time for us to yabba dabba do this thing. I'm Slide Down Dino's back, but what a hell of a conversation today. Thank you, all you people out there in the boom boom room. See you. Chop shop.
Dodo.